guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber from Kyuujin, and today we're back with Vinland Saga, Season 2, Episode 20.
Last episode, the fight for Ketil's farm started, and Ketil is not seeing things straight.
It is a massacre right now.
Yes, he's not thinking. His son, Thorgil, has his own fucking plan. So far, he's sending people to die, so, you know, Canute's army focuses on them, while he wants to go around and get to Canute. And he's facing Canute right now, except Canute still has his men, general and shit, so I don't know how this fight will go, but I don't think Canute is dying today. So Thorgil will probably... He's the only one with Snake who could probably pull things off, and I think we're gonna lose him.
Yeah.
And Ketil is facing this, and if he sees his son dead, he's gonna lose it even more, and just... He's surrounded by men who don't know how to fight, and the only reason why they're here is because they dangled money and freedom in front of them, and without telling them they were facing the king. So, and now pride is keeping them in the army, so they're being massacred because they don't have training. And meanwhile, we're trying to flee with Arnheid, hoping she'll survive, except last time we saw Arnheid, she was on the path towards heaven with Gardar, and she woke up to say farewell. So, really looks like we're gonna lose her, and it's gonna be really sad.
Damn it.
So I kind of dread this episode, but we have to watch it. So let's see what they have in store for us. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of these episodes, and check out our Patreon for the full-length reactions.
Alright, let's go.
13人殺した。そこらのアホに比べりゃ。
It's about Snake's people, Snake's group.
They're all gonna die?
Probably.
楽しい。あの顔ときたら。だからわかる。ひよこ一列の敵。
That they're enjoying what they're doing to you guys. The madness. Well, now you're on the other side. You understand what your victims felt.
Shit.
Again, this is the madness. That's why we're trying to flee this shit. Oh. So afraid.
Animation is nice though.
Yeah, it's smooth. Snake, like a fucking badass.
Thank you, Snake.
Protecting his man. They are here for him.
Oh, I call him brother.
He always called him like that. Kind of like a nickname more than brother.
No, you can't.
Cause Ketil is so fucking blind. A stupid fight and stupid deaths.
Ketil, everyone is dying.
There's no honor in this shit. Dude.
Dude, you'll be dead.
あんたはもう終わりだよ、
Yeah.
ケティルさん。貧乏人の気持ちが分かったかい？逆らっちゃいけなかったんだ。あんたに従ったようにな。
Oh, that's twisting the knife a lot.
Someone bigger than you, yeah.
あんたより強いやつのためにある。
Well, he was in a position of strength, despite how he was saying, like we said before, he saw himself as benevolent, but they always saw him as in charge, and there was no love lost between them.
Ketil's dead.
Is he?
That was Bane.
ケティルとおぼしき者が捕獲しろと命じたはずだ。申し訳ございません、陛下。
He didn't see who it was, so it's kind of like it could have been someone else putting themselves in front. I don't know.
不老機に追撃するなと伝えよ。はっ。
And see, because he's so focused on the king, he's not there to protect his father.
中主張が離れた。
Granted, they can't win even if he was on the other side, but...
粗末に扱うな。遺族に引き渡し。見知らせもらった。
What happens? Oh shit.
Opening.
I'm angry at the opening, man. No, someone's gonna stop him.
You think?
I don't think Canute dies here. And I don't know what happened to Ketil. It could have been him, but since they're not sure, they're gonna fucking keep us on the edge. Oh!
That close!
The reflex, though.
どこから
Oh,
Okay.
shit! 冥界から
Well, protect
From
yourself.
hell. God damn it.
Protect yourself, dude. He fucking broke the sword.
腕を上げましたな陛下
I'm proud of you.
右手に力が
Yeah.
くじだ
Holy shit.
いいぞ
Use your wits.
でこそ大将首ってなんだぜ
If anything, he's good at this.
Dodging? Yeah.
No, using his wits. Ouch. Despite everything, I kind of don't want him to die, so
死と時間がね
he looks fucking strong.
食べてちょうだい
Yep. Oh. Sword hand too.
僕も陛下を
How dare the king pretend we did something wrong? He's the king. Oh. He's not blinking still. Man, he's loyal as shit. Because you know he grabbed him.
剣を私にお下がりください
Damn.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and it's over, dude.
顔を守りしろ
Berserker mode activated.
Nope.
Running away.
But I mean, his strong hand, stronger hand has
Yeah,
been almost lasting too.
それ以上に操る大胆な男だ
I love that he's running away though, while like he's forcing people to die for this cause, but he's not willing to die for it too, right?
I mean, he's wise. He's not wise. He's smart.
But not smart for the others.
Yeah.
全員戻れ
So you're fine. Let's see if Ketil died.
Ketil's dead.
旦那よし旦那の顔を知らなかったみてえだな
He survived.
Okay, nice.
Lost an eye too.
死んで楽になろうなんて思うなよ敗軍の将の責任取ってもらうぞ
Such a good guy. He's such a good guy. But that was not worth it.
あの音がする焼かれた時の音世界が壊れ
The madness. And people enjoying it.
戦争を
心配いりませんこの農場を去るんです関わりのない戦です
ここを去ってどこに
Gave her the dream of Vinland before she dies.
わしの村へ行こういいところだ
奴隷はいますか戦争はありますか
かつて争いはあった
Vinland,
これか
guys.
ら先ないと言えば
She doesn't want to live in this world like this.
私は行かないわ違うところに行くの子供たちが待ってもらってるの言いたかったからエイナルさんトルフィンさんさまよっているみたいだったでも
She found them.
おしゃべりがお話
アルネイさん気をしっかり追ってくれアルネイさん子供を守るって言ったじゃないですか
もう言ったわ、みんな死んだわ大切な人はみんなここには何もなぜ
She has
生
no
き
hope.
なければならないの
She sang the same word as he did.
Like that sucks for him. Like I am here. You love her.
アルネイさんどいてくれエイナル父から教わった
Oh my god, yes, we're going back like episode 1 and 2.
話しかけろ大声で行くな俺はあなたが大好きなんだ俺の話で笑ってくれ生きて一緒に生きてくれ生きてくれよ
Fuck, the music is so good.
Oh, he's just. He's not stopping.
もういい
Oh, she suffered so much, man. It was just too much.
Another one who died because of the wounded pride of a man.
遥かな西
Yeah. The rays of hope are still there.
いう名のそこは暖かく戦の炎も届かない遠一だきっとあなたも苦しまずに生きていけるアルネイズさん俺たちと一緒にそこへ行こう平和な国を作ろう
He has changed, but it's surprising.
なんでまだこんなところにいるんだ
Do not attack Ketil.
Oh
Do
no,
not
dude.
attack him, please.
よせエイナル
ケテルお前がアルネイさんを殺してやる
Stop it, please, Thorfinn. It will never end if not.
旦那を殺しても何
It
もならない
won't. Dude. Thorfinn just took it like it was nothing.
目を覚ませエイナル
Oh. That's a punch that you can use to wake your friend up, bring him back to the light, because he's fucking lost.
お前の怒りは
He knows.
光が怒りを呼んで次々に人が死ぬだけだその地獄の中にいた
Don't lose yourself like that too.
俺と同じ呪いになんか
Oh, this season. What the fuck? It's a cool visual with the rays of light.
親父
船出の準備を頼む
神は我々を見ていらっしゃるのだろうな友を失い親と子が殺し合う天空の高みから見下ろしておられるのだろ
That look of anger.
どこ
He's
へ
gonna go and talk to Canute.
またんか
うクヌートに
I had a
Oh,
feeling too, yeah.
he's gonna put him in his place.
He wants to stop this fucking bullshit.
This fucking madness.
Because no one will stop it for them.
死人を出さずに済む
Oh, you're a
Oh,
good
shit.
man. But you'll probably get killed. Be careful. Again, he was like, just go home.
お前がそこまでせねばならん
Because he knows the guy and it's his promise to himself.
今度こそお前をアイスランドに連れて帰らせてくれ
昔話してく
At
れ
least the reason why he's not coming back this time
It's
is a good
different.
one, yeah.
俺たちのご先祖様は逃げてそう思ったけどすごく誇らしく思うクヌートは100人
I
勢
can bypass that.
生きて戻るだけなら
I've faced worse.
Mommy, he faced Thorgil. This is worse.
Trust him, though, to be strong enough to come back alive. He's making a promise. This time it's not just Leaf going after him. He's saying, I'm coming back.
Yeah.
いつでも船を出せるようにしておくぞ
The season is not over, okay?
アイスランドに帰るぞ
Yes, you are.
That is a promise. It's not about convincing him. He's saying he's coming back. When is the question?
Oh man.
So, alright,
But yeah.
Arnheid.
Like you said, you like the visual of the ray of sunlight.
Yep.
And all those dark clouds.
When
It is
Arnheid
their-
imagines the world, it's all like it's covered in dark clouds. When they started fighting, it's like ominous, right? The clouds hide everything. I take it as a metaphor for hope. Well, almost, but like how someone like Arnheid, who's been through so much, who's lost so much, who's stuck in that dark forest, that nightmare, right? How she would feel, even finding friends. It's still not enough, right? The light is not in reach and she doesn't see it anymore. But after she dies, the fact that we see this, like this guy, but with rays of light fighting to get through, and we kind of saw some of them flicker, and I wondered if one of them, because we saw one of them disappear, and I felt like it's Arne's life when she dies, right? But then after that, we saw so many others, and they were flickering and I felt like, oh, I mean, we're constantly fighting and stuff, but then seeing it as hope is a good thing as well. So these people are struggling in order to live through all the hardships, right? There are the ray of lights that try to survive through the clouds and make it to Earth, right? But it also says that despite all the darkness inside and around you, if you look close enough, you will find that ray of light. There will be hope eventually. For some of them, it's too late, right? For some of them, they die before they get to reach it. That is fucking cruel. That is really sad.
I love that you pointed out the fact that some of them were flickering, like unstable or maybe fragile.
Well,
Because hope and peace is fragile and might not be there quickly, or you need to work really long and wait for it to be truly there. But with time and if patient, you will reach it.
Those
someday.
ray of lights represent both hope and life, and in a way, life is hope. Because you could argue that this madness doesn't allow life, right? You're massacring people, you're spreading hatred and pain, sadness all around you. You live in that anger. There's no living, per se. You're surviving in that anger. So those rays of lights represent those that try to live in this madness and make it to their paradise. For Arnheid, unfortunately, because of the harshness of what she's been through, her paradise was actually heaven. It was death. Moving on, because like she was saying, where are we gonna go, right? Like there was no alternative. It was kind of like she was asking, what would I be fighting for? And they couldn't give her an answer. So I was thinking, like, the speech about Vinland, she was already dead. It came too late. But it would have been like a ray of hope. It would have been the confirmation that it's not just trying to survive through the clouds, it's also reaching beyond that, a place that makes it. Vinland is a place, but the more we go into this show, the more it becomes just a metaphor for hope, that there will be a better moment, a better time for you. Because for Arnheid, she only saw a repetition of suffering and slavery and like, oh, you're gonna take me to a place saying it's gonna be fine, but then who's to say that we won't get attacked and I won't become a slave again? Like, it's not an escape. It's still the same nightmare, and it just wasn't strong enough for her. It wasn't good enough for her to keep fighting. We lost her, and the dream came too late, but the dream is still there. It's still strong, and maybe this is what Thorfinn needs to do. Start spreading the dream, give it to people who are lost, so that we can save them before they lose and die like Arnheid.
I really love that she technically said the same words that Thorfinn said. Like, why am I living for? Why am I still alive? And he was in a dark place with those same words in mind back then.
Someone was there to help him, though. I think he needs to be that.
Someone was there to remind him that there is hope, there is Vinland, there is something for you to live for and to
Survive,
fight for. Also.
He was asking, a couple episodes ago, why am I, like, what could I do differently in order to avoid this? Because he was stuck in a position where there was no other option but to fight, and he wanted to try and prevent those situations as much as possible. I think he needs to be that voice. He needs to be the Einar to all the other people. He needs to be the guy that gives hope to those that feel stuck in a situation where there's no other choice but to fight. He needs to give them another way, and Vinland is a great choice, but he needs to make that choice an actual living thing. He needs to make it concrete. Now I think he's made a decision for himself, right? This situation ended with Arneheid's death and like the war happening on the farm. He couldn't do anything to prevent that, and now he felt hopeless for a second, but he doesn't want to allow that to happen again. So I love that Leif is asking, like, why does it have to be you? Like, why do you have to do something here? And Thorfinn, his answer, he's given it to us before, because he used to be one of these guys, and he used to spread that hatred and that pain around. So he understands it better than anyone, and now he's trying to prevent it. He's trying to atone for all that pain he did by hoping he gets to stop other people from doing the same. And he knows Canute, And he, in a way, like, involved or not involved, this is his way to repent by trying actively to bring peace. And in this case, he knows it's not like out of his
Reach.
capabilities. Yeah.
Out of his reach.
Kind of like we're saying that Canute is trying to change too much too quickly, so he's not, even though he has a lot of power, it's not gonna happen. But this, 100 people, I can sneak past that. Canute, I know Canute.
Yeah.
Right? And he understands, like, he was talking about God. He was talking about how God is watching them, you know, do all of this.
Massacring each other. But,
Yeah.
Massacring sibling with siblings, friends and foes.
Yeah, I feel like a part of the reason why right after that he went to Canute is because it sounds a lot like what he was saying sounds a lot like what Canute was saying, right? His anger at God and what started him on the wrong path. And in a way, the one thing he didn't say was that God is watching us kill each other and he's not doing anything to prevent it. So if he's not going to stop it, I need to do something. It's not just gonna happen.
I need to act. Yeah.
People need to start acting and change things. And Canute, guided by that anger too of God is not doing shit for us and we're not, the utopia he's giving us like only comes at a price, so it's not true utopia, so I'm gonna create my utopia. That realization sent him on a dark path of more death, so he's misguided just as much as everyone else. And Canute having, you know, knowing Thorfinn, that creates a connection enough, maybe strong enough that we can shake some. At least we're gonna try. Except like we're really close to the end of season 2. I'm a bit afraid that we're gonna go there, something's gonna happen, we're gonna be sent somewhere else. And I was thinking like Leaf has his own anime happening of finding Thorfinn like on the boat, like
he's on his own journey.
He's on his journey, and I am rooting for him so fucking much because he promised to bring back Thorfinn. Except this time, buddy, him leaving is not the same, right? Like the first time it was him choosing still his anger, his violence, right? He was still a slave to his emotions, so he gave up on home, right? He was lost, and he thought about going back home as like, oh, it's my defeat, right? I give up because I can't succeed there. And then he chose to say like, fuck that, I'm still gonna fight, you know, against Askeladd, I'm still gonna do my thing. That led him on a worse path, right? Now he actually became a slave. But this time he's not leaving saying that fuck home, right? I'm focusing on my anger.
No, he made a promise to come back.
He made a promise to come back. And he's following another promise he made himself, but he's become a better person. He's alive again, and what he's doing, you should be proud of that. He wants to be, I feel like doing this, he'll become a person that won't feel ashamed to go back home.
Mm-hmm. Did you remember the first time that we saw Thorfinn at the beginning of the season 2? The look in his eyes. The fact that he was just dead inside. He was not living. He was just going through the motion.
Well, if you compare the first opening to what we were saying about Gardar and Arnheid, you know, Gardar, his hell, his the state he was living in, right? That was underwater, surrounded by slaves.
Mm-hmm.
Thorfinn was also drowning in the beginning of season 2. In the opening, he was underwater, and Einar kind of was the ray of light that helped him go out of the water. So that's why I'm saying, like, someone else helped Thorfinn see the light and take him out from under the clouds, right? He brought him up there, or at least he showed him a ray of light, he showed him hope, and now Thorfinn is fighting to get up there and reach his utopia. But it was too late for Gardar and Arnheid. Like, they suffered for a long time, and we brought them too little, too late, right? So we couldn't save them. So they were still stuck under the clouds, and they couldn't see any ray of light. But if you make that vow to become that person who goes out there and sees those people that are lost, and you shine that light into their little hell, maybe you can help them get out of there. Avoid the fate what happened to Arnheid. Avoid that from happening to others. It's a good motivation, a very good motivation. And like, if you're gonna avoid being that sad again, because like, oh man, that broke my heart. Like the whole like Einar almost losing himself to the violence and the madness, because his eyes went up there, right? He was
but Thorfinn brought him back, and he was right. I mean, if you go with your anger and your rage, you're gonna get lost by the same curse that he was.
I love that it was
and
a
the
punch.
circle won over hand, because if he killed the master, Snake would have to kill Einar.
Yep. He's right. Well, we said it, right? The wheel keeps on turning if you don't stop. You just got to be strong enough to do it. And I love that he used a punch to stop him. Because, like, there are different ways to do things. And, you know, when he had to use his fist to stop Snake, he kind of beat himself up over this later on. And then Einar was saying, like, sometimes we have to fight. I'm not saying he was fighting Einar or, like, that he resorted to violence. But in this case, like, it's an example of him raising his fist, but for an actual good reason to avoid, like, more later on. Actively do stuff.
And I mean, he did need to knock some sense into Einar's head.
But true, but it's kind of like, not foreshadowing per se, but it shows that you cannot just say to people not to do something, right? So you have to act a little bit. And later on, like now he's going to Canute, and I don't know if it's going to work, but I think he got shook, Canute, because I will say of Thorgil, he's a fucking crazy man. He's really strong.
He was this close.
Yep. If he had been quicker,
but I just said that Canute almost got killed by Thorgil because he was only focused on his dream of utopia, but Canutopia.
Oh, okay,
say it like that.
you're reaching a little bit. He was in the middle of a fight, so he was looking at his army fighting. But if you go back, he wouldn't be here if he didn't, you know, try to steal someone else's lands by lying about arresting them.
True.
So he created that enemy for himself. That is true. And Thorgil, man, well, the one thing I criticized in the episode about this, because I thought he was badass, but still, he recognized that this was a losing battle, and so he retreated, potentially to come back later on. Mm-hmm. But this is a mercy he gave himself that he didn't give to all the others he sent to fight for them.
Oh no, he used them as a distraction.
Yeah.
Like I said, he arranged for Canute to be focusing on what was ahead of him, not behind him.
Just like Ketil, like still blind to the reality. Like a lot of people are dying, and a lot of more people would have died if Snake had not said like retreat.
I love that returner told him the same thing. Like, you acted the same with the king as we did with you, because there's always somebody more powerful, more bigger than you on Earth.
Well, again, like what we talked about earlier in another episode, the bubble in which Ketil was living, right? Since we went out there and he worked with the slaves, since he gave them a chance to pay off their debt and stuff, like, it's kind of like he forgot his position. Same with Arnheid, right? Like, he felt good with Arnheid and he would confess to her, but because of that, he forgot that the power difference
dynamic,
definitely works against, well, not against him, but in his favor. It helps him control people. The people that are around him won't tell him when he's wrong. They won't brush him the wrong way. They won't go against him in any way because he's powerful. So that respect or that support, it's kind of fake because it's based off of a power dynamic that he was in charge of. So he's pushing them and he's claiming like stuff and he's acting a certain way, but then when things get serious and he loses that power, people go back to looking at him like, when they look at him on the same level as they are, they judge him and they push him down and they tell him the truth, and it's not a happy truth. So that was a big problem that he had, right? Like, he blinded himself to the reality and he pretended that things were fine so he didn't notice that people were mad at him, or that they looked up to him and they despised him, or that they didn't want to be close to him like Arnheid. And that reality hurts him, but and that's the thing, like, one thing I wanted to say in the whole like him beating Arnheid episode was that despite him saying he doesn't like violence or whatever, and even when like you could argue that he was giving most slaves a chance to get their freedom, he still had slaves. If he wanted to change things, if he wanted to be a good guy, he would buy slaves and free them right away.
True.
Not have them work for that, right? Because these guys are forced to work, and that's how he made his fortune. By having people work for him, do the job that he couldn't do himself. So that's another big difference between him and Sverker. So there's some good in what he did, because he did free people, he did allow them to work for that, but still...
bought them and they worked to buy their freedom back.
Well, this is an option he gave them, but that doesn't make him completely like a good guy. If he was completely good, if he truly wanted to make things better, he would just free them.
Yeah.
Help them out.
True.
But in order to have his land, in order to have his fortune and keep his little bubble of peace, he needed to make his farm a great place. And to build that, you need people. And I guess he didn't realize that, you know, the only reason a lot of those guys fought for him, or a lot of reason why those guys respected him, was because he had the money. But if you take that away, the way he said that, you know, like you said earlier, right? This world is for the strong, the powerful.
Not just like that. It's just in this world there will always be a bigger player, stronger player than yourself.
Yeah. You act a certain way until someone bigger and stronger comes and makes you feel like the little people you've mistreated or you've used.
True. I mean, you could be a big fish in a little pond, but it could be just a small fish in a big ocean.
I guess this is why you could, you know, we said that about slaves, right? If you are the type to own slaves, but you're not okay with like being the slave to someone else, then there's something wrong, right? Like, you're only okay with this if you're the one in charge. But you live in the world where things could turn and you could end up being the slave, but then you'll complain. Yeah. So you can't complain about this if you're the slave and then turn around and own slaves.
You know what? That's being called a hypocrite.
Exactly. But this works with the slave stuff, but this also works with wealth or just like power in general. Like, you can't, if you're the king and you treat your subjects like shit, you're a hypocrite. Because if you end up poor or whatever and you get treated the same as you treated your people and you complain, then dude, the hypocrisy is there.
Yes.
And a lot of people that are in power forget what it's like to start at the bottom, especially if they've started at the bottom, right? Some people have never been at the bottom, and that explains their attitude.
They will never know.
Yeah, but if you start at the bottom and you know what it's like, it's even worse, I think, because then you get up there and you forget what it's like, and you start treating, you help the system stay the same.
You know what? This is why it is technically so much worse, because Canute know what it is to live in a world with bloodshed and fight with his own family. The fact that he had to flee for his own safety. The fact that he's so much dead at a young age.
And he was against war.
And he was against war, and he's still doing the same.
Because he got blinded by his dream. He got blinded by his utopia. Ah la 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 la.
Yes.
But then, like,
la 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 la.
It's easy to forget other people's misery when you're so focused on your happiness.
When you have power. Because he wasn't thinking like that when he did not have any power, but now he has support, he has the crown.
Well, just in general, it's easy to forget other people's misery because you focus on you. Even Thorfinn season 1, he was so focused on his anger, his sadness, his revenge, he didn't realize that he was causing all of that to other people. He was forcing them to live the same shit. Now he's realizing it and he wants to help other people and he wants to stop this. So he's making changes, but you could argue that it happened way too late because he's still like left a path of death. For sure, like, he's not dead yet, so he has a lot of time to make things right. But so that's why I'm saying, like, he needs to be that voice that gives hope to people who are lost and tries to put the people who are actively keeping that system going on the right path. Because they forgot what it's like, or they don't know what it's like to be helpless, to be in the shoes of those below them. We'll see what he does next episode with Canute. I don't know if what we could say that would change things, but then again, it's about saving lives. It's not necessarily about saving the farm. So we'll see.
Stop this madness!
Well, Ketil is still alive, so if anything, Canute will attack again. What Thorfinn is trying to do is stop the fight, not necessarily help Ketil keep his farm. We'll make a deal, we'll discuss this, we'll try to make things okay. Let's not fight anymore. It's not worth it. All it does is create more pain. It taints a beautiful thing, or what could be a beautiful thing. Even Canute, when he came here, was like, "Oh, these lands are beautiful. It's sad that
it'd be a shame to
taint it in blood." And like Gardar's like dream where he like put blood on his child's cheek.
Tainted of innocence.
Yes, you taint innocence. You taint beauty. Like
by your own actions. By the way,
you make things worse. You create those clouds, and then it gets really hard to survive them. We'll see. We'll shake some sense into Canute. In any case, thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. If you want to see the next episode right away, it is on Patreon already. You can check it out. The link is in the description below.
And if you don't, the next one will be on YouTube next week. So we're gonna see you then, guys.
Bye.